Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Hello traders, good morning. Can everyone hear me? Guys, I'm trying to share. Yes, there it is. Good morning, guys. Happy New Year and welcome to a new trading week. This is the London Session Open, and we're going to go through the economic calendar as always, and then we'll move to the charts and analyze the top assets that we have, the top instruments. So let's get to it. And as we go, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Just ask them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer. All right, so we start with Monday. Monday today, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI and prices. So in terms of the PMI, it's expected to improve slightly, but it's still below 50, which is contractionary. It's not very positive. But if it comes in like higher than the expected, that would be okay. If it comes in higher than 50, that would be great. Actually, that would be very positive. We will see strong USD after this release. The prices, those actually impact the inflation. So the previous reading was 58.5. The forecast is 59. So prices are expected to get higher, meaning manufacturing prices are getting higher. So that means that this will get passed down to the consumers, and then we will have higher consumer price index, which is the inflation reading. Okay, so that's for Monday. Let's see what we have on Tuesday. We have the German CPI. The previous was okay. So their inflation is in the minus. They're deflating. They're not inflating. So we don't have a forecasted number. Let me check if we have any update. Yeah, the forecasted number is 0.3%. So this is not updated. So the forecasted number is 0.3%. They're expected to actually, that's the monthly CPI, of course, for the month of December. They're expecting to get higher inflation in the next reading, which is on Tuesday. So if the actual comes in higher, that would be positive for the euro, meaning that inflation is higher. They will need to keep rates higher to fight inflation, which would increase the attractiveness of the euro since it has higher interest rates. So the actual, if it comes in higher, that's positive for the euro. If it comes in lower, it's negative for the euro. All right. Let me check if you have any questions. We're still good. Yes, we're still good. Okay, so then on Tuesday, we have the S&P Global Services PMI. We had the manufacturing PMI. Now we have the services PMI, which is the backbone of the economy. That's the most important part or pillar of the economy, which is services. So the previous was 54.1. The forecast is a decrease to 52.9. So if it comes in lower, it's still like lower than the previous, but it's expansionary because it's above 50. Okay, so the services sector is still expanding, but it's not expanding as fast as the previous period. But it's still good. It's not as good as the previous reading, but it's still good. So if the actual comes in as forecasted or higher, that would be positive for the services sector and the US economy in general. If it comes in lower, that would mean that that would be negative for the US economy and the services sector in general. All right, so now let's move to Tuesday. Okay. You know what? Let me pause for a second. Did you guys hear what happened with Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan leader? Let me see if anyone has read the news. Okay, so basically, guys, on Saturday, the US, like Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, sent the Delta Force, which is the like elite military force they have in the US, to actually get Maduro and capture Maduro and fly him outside of the country. Um, like I'm not sure if it's okay to say abducted, but they abducted like the Venezuelan leader. That's for me that's crazy and funny at the same time. Like, how would you do something like that? So Trump took Maduro. I think everyone knows the intentions of Trump. He is saying that Maduro is a dictator and he is facilitating all the what's it called, the drug dealing inside the US and around the US in the whole Americas. So they need to be stopped, or he needs to be stopped, meaning Maduro. So I'm sure like that's not it, because Venezuela happens to be one of the um, largest, if not the largest, oil reserve in the world. So we saw this happen before in like 2003 in Iraq. So not to get political or anything, but we know that the main goal behind this is the oil. So oil prices might start seeing some volatility, and everything else in the economy might start feeling that volatility. Why? Because you cannot manufacture anything without yes, exactly, narcotics. You cannot manufacture anything without energy. You cannot even like give services or provide services without energy, because you will need, even if it's online services, you will need servers, you will need power to or energy to power those services. So oil is very important, energy is very important, and this might disrupt the energy supply in the world. So that's why we might start seeing big swings in the markets coming forward. I think this will be something that everyone can learn from going forward. Like we're going to see like certain behaviors that are somehow new to some of us. So we will learn a lot. So okay, that's pretty much it about Maduro and the U.S. Let's go back to our calendar. So we go back to Wednesday. Wednesday we have the Euro CPI, Eurozone CPI. That's the yearly reading for the month of December, year over year. So the previous was 2.1%. The forecast is 2.1% as well. And the actual, if the actual comes in higher than this, they will need to keep rates higher to control inflation. If it comes in lower than this, it means that they're on track and they achieved their 2% inflation target, and they can start cutting rates to boost the economy and boost the growth of the economy. Okay, let me. Some of you guys are writing couple of things. Let me read them. Morning from Uganda. Morning back to you. Okay. Trump would like to control the oil producing nations. Exactly. He already has existence in Gulf nations with Venezuela, US will have almost 40%, 45% control on oil. I'm not sure of the percentage, but yeah, it makes sense. At the end of the day, as I was saying, energy controls everything. So yeah, this guy knows what to control and what to focus on. Uh, Whether you like him or not, but the guy knows what's best for his country. We're not talking that he's doing it in the most ethical way, but he knows what's best for his country and for his own good. All right, so now let's move to the next one. We have the ADP non-farm employment change. So the previous reading was minus 30K. The forecast is plus or positive 50K. So it's expected to be better or to improve dramatically than the previous reading. If that happens, we will see positive or positivity on the DXY, which is the USD. And if we see it below expectations or even below the previous, that would be a lot worse. If that happens, we will see it. We will see some negativity on the DXY. All right. Then we have the ISM non-manufacturing PMI and non-manufacturing prices. We saw the manufacturing PMI and prices, and now it's time to see the ISM non-manufacturing PMI and non-manufacturing prices. So the previous reading for the PMI was 52.6. The forecast is a slight drop to 52.2. If that happens, if it comes in as expected, we will not see like a big move because it's not a big difference between the previous and the forecast. So if it comes in lower, much lower than this, we will see negativity. If we see it higher, that means positivity on the non-manufacturing sectors in the US economy. As for prices, the previous was 65.4. Let me see if we have a forecast number now. We still don't have a forecast number, no? Okay, so if it comes in higher than 50 or 65.4, it means that prices are getting hotter and higher. So this will translate to consumers and translate into a higher CPI or consumer price index. And finally, on Wednesday, we have the job openings for the month of November. So the previous was 7.67, and the forecast is 7.73. So there's an improvement. And if that happens, if it comes in as expected or higher, we might see positivity on, or like that shows strength in the labor market. If it comes in lower than the forecast or even lower than the previous, we might see weakness, or this might signal weakness coming from the labor market. All right, guys. Might go into recession. Okay. All right. So let's move to Thursday. We have only the initial jobless claims. So the previous is 199K, which was the lowest since, like, I don't know, March. The forecast is, let me check. We have a forecast number. Yes, we have 216,000. So if it comes in like as expected, which is 216,000, this will be negative for the jobs market or labor market, because it means that more people are claiming to be jobless in the US. But if it comes in even lower, or like very close to the previous, that will be very positive for the labor market and the US economy, because it will show that the labor market is still solid. Okay. Finally, we have Friday. We have the average hourly earnings. So the previous was 0.1. The forecast was 0.3%. If it comes in higher, it means that the jobs market is good. The wages are like, the hourly earnings are getting better, meaning that the jobs market is getting better. Okay, so the non-farm payrolls, which is the NFP, that's the most important number of the week, in my opinion. The previous reading was 64,000. The forecast is 55,000. If it comes in higher than this, it will signal strength and resilience in the jobs market. If not, we will see like big weakness on the DXY, and we'll see big swings during this news release. So it will be 5:30 p.m. Dubai time. So during this time, we will have the unemployment rate, the non-farm payroll, and the average hourly earnings. That's a very important time. If you're not good with memory, if your memory is not very, very strong, I suggest just like putting an alarm or something to remind you not to trade during this time, because it's a very volatile time. The unemployment rate, previous reading was 4.6, which is the highest in several months or several years even. The forecast is a drop to 4.5%, which is positive. So less people are unemployed. And if the actual comes in, for example, at 4.7, that would be a disaster, because that means that the jobs market is weak and it's getting even weaker. If it comes in at 4.4%, for example, or as expected 4.5, that would be positive and shows resilience in the jobs market. So that's it for the economic calendar. We'll now move to charts, but before moving to the charts, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions on what we just explained? Nope. All good? Okay, I will give a minute just to make sure you don't have any questions before moving to the charts. Okay, let me read the questions. How low can gold go? I don't know. We are going to check together and see. Will be a big week with big action. I agree. Tell us about gold. When we reach that, we will. We'll talk about gold, of course. How does the news affect the crypto market? Well, it depends. If people lose, what's it called? If they lose trust in the traditional financial system, in the US dollar and the euro, they will start using the crypto market, and especially the top coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. They will start using those as a safe haven outside of the system, off grid. All right. So that's how it would impact the market. It would be positive for the crypto market, and like anything away from risky assets, or like, let's say, usually risky assets like stocks, for example, people will start moving away from those and pouring more into gold, silver. We will see like higher energy premiums on oil, energy sector in general, and we will start seeing even like a movement of the money, or a rotation from the risky or more risky assets to less risky assets, or to less relevant assets. When I say less relevant, I mean like Bitcoin has nothing to do with the conflict happening now between Venezuela and the US, right? So it would be a great place to place your money in. That's how investors might think. So from what I see, this is actually happening. Bitcoin is going up. It's like it's starting a good, like a strong start of the year. So I think, yeah, that's happening. What I just explained is in reality happening. Okay, so let me check now. What do we have? Let me go to. Okay, we start as always with the DXY. Let me check what we have. Okay, we start with, let me see how the monthly closed. The monthly was very bearish, but however, it did not close outside the band. It did not close below 89, 98, sorry. Yeah, it did not close below 98, which is like not very bearish, but the closure is still bearish. We might see like a correction now. Let me check. Yeah, the weekly closed a little bit bullish. So we might be seeing the 99, which is very close to where we are now. We might see the 99 before continuing the drop, or the downtrend, not the drop. Second, let me see. And now that's the daily. That's the daily chart. So we have this last line of defense for the DXY, which is the third and last trend line of the fan. So we might see it around 99, but if it breaks above the 100.5, we have a reversal now, and we start seeing DXY going higher and higher. But for me, I don't see any reason why the DXY would do that, at least for like the time being, at least for this week or next week. Now, by the way, guys, the strength we're seeing in DXY is also due to the dollar being a safe haven as well. So um, when people get scared, they go to gold, to dollar, because it's the reserve currency of the world. They go to dollar, they go to Swiss franc, they go to Japanese yen, and of course they go to silver. And sometimes, or like very recently, they started going to crypto when that happens. Okay, so as I told you, I see the DXY going to 99, and then like we might see a continuation to the downtrend or the drop that we've been witnessing very recently. Yeah, as long as it does not break above this area, it's still good. But like we're seeing early signs of strength in the current wave, which is this. We saw a breakout out of this, but this could be just a correction. If we respect this area, which is the 99.3, we might still be going lower and lower. Okay, that's for the DXY. Now let's move for to the euro, which is the exact opposite. We might okay. We have to see the opposite now. So the monthly, let me see. Actually, the monthly closed pretty bullish on euro. It closed outside of this area, which is above 1.1745. So we're up to we're going to fill this wick around 1.1920. So from there we'll see what will happen. But for now, we might be seeing like a slightly higher high than this one, based on the candle analysis on the monthly time frame. We now move to the weekly. The weekly is the exact opposite of the DXY chart. So yeah, we might be like going towards the 1.1650, which was a strong resistance. If you guys remember, I sold at 1.1650, and then it dropped, and then I got stopped out at break even. Why I chose 1.1650? Because it was a very strong resistance. Now it became a very strong support because we closed above, and now support or resistance became support. So we might be seeing it around the 1.1650 before continuing the uptrend that we're seeing. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, as we saw on the DXY, the short-term wave has been broken, but this could be just a correction, and we might be stopping around this area, which is 1650, and from there we might be seeing a continuation to the upside. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so let me see if you have any questions. How does the news? We always wait for your NAS. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm glad that you enjoy it. All right, so now let's move to a lower time frame, which is the 4 hours, just to make sure that our reading is correct. It is correct. We're still in an uptrend, and nothing changed. The short-term trend, which is this one, this wave, has been like invalidated, but that's okay because that's just like one wave out of the big movement. Okay. All right, now we move to GBP USD, which is cable. Let's go to monthly first. Okay, so yeah, the monthly closed somehow bullish, but it's still within or inside the band. So I'm not sure if I'm going to consider this bullish or bearish, but like I'm more inclined toward the bullish scenario. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly is doing exactly like the euro is doing. Okay. So yeah, the weekly is closed bearish last week. So we might be seeing the 1.33. So we have 100 pips to the downside now. Yeah, same thing here. We might see the 1.33 before the continuation of this trend. Um, Overall, it looks bullish to me, to be honest. Excuse me, guys. Let me just drink some water because I'm still sick and my voice is a little bit off. So excuse me for 1 second, please. Okay, so back to what we were saying. GBP USD looks bullish. Let's take a look at the everyone's favorite, which is gold. Now I feel that I'm losing my ability to speak, so I want to move to gold first and make sure, because everyone is asking about gold, let me make sure that I cover gold before continuing or talking about anything else. Okay, so we go back to the monthly. So we had a strong closure to the month. It was very bullish, and I'm expecting to see higher and higher, based on the monthly, of course. I'm expecting to see higher closures or higher highs. But here's what changes everything: the weekly time frame. This changes everything because we saw last week closing as a uh, bearish engulfing at like the all-time high and closing inside the band. So we're expecting to see this might be, it's not like a guarantee, but this might be the start of the big correction in gold. And when I see the big correction, you can see my levels marked out here, the 3,800 and 3,600. So and of course we will still be in an uptrend, but like in terms of like analysis, we might be like starting the big wave of correction, but we need to wait and see and dig deeper actually into this to make sure that um, our reading or our analysis is on point, because you cannot be shorting gold now while it's very near its all-time highs, because it could be just like correcting slightly and then continuing to break new all-time highs, and you'll get stuck forever. So the first thing you should be doing, if you're going to like go for gold shorts, you need to make sure 100% that we are in a downtrend, or like gold has turned from bullish to bearish, at least for the time being or for the short term. So you need to pay like a lot of attention to this and stay with the trend, like never go against the trend. Now the trend as of now is still bullish, so as long as it's bullish, I'm not interested in shorting. But I'm telling you, in terms of analysis, I like to plan my future trades. So I see that this could be, it's not a guarantee again, this could be a start of a correction. So I'll keep that information in the back of my mind. I'm still in gold longs anyway, so I'm okay. I will keep long in gold as long as it shows me signs of strength. But I will keep this information in the back of my mind because, like, so that once it happens, I'm not surprised. It's like I've thought of this before, and I have a prepared scenario for it, or I have a prepared action plan for it. So that's why I'm telling you. And I don't know what day was that. Yeah, last Monday, which was December 29th, we saw a strong sell-off on gold, and we saw this huge um, engulfing candle, which is the bearish engulfing. So we will keep, like, just keep an eye. If this high gets taken out, forget about the correction that I was talking about. We will continue going up. But if not, if this high remains respected, we might be seeing lower lows than the lows that we saw on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Tuesday. It was on Tuesday. Okay. We move now to 4 hours. Yeah. So here, I need you to look at something. For now, we're just like trending up, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And let me just extend this here. And look where it got rejected from. The 126-day moving average, my favorite moving average, it got rejected from it. We saw an engulfing candle, a retest or a retracement, a 50% retracement, a little bit more, and then a continuation to the upside. And like it stopped trending down because now we saw like it failed to make a new low here. Okay, this was on Friday. It failed to make a new low and it broke the previous high, which makes a failure swing, which is a bullish signal. So as of now, gold is bullish, but I need you to keep in the back of your head that it might start correct if it does not break the all-time high, because we saw a formation of a reversal pattern right at the top of or right at the all-time highs. So if it does not take out the all-time high, if you're holding, for example, if you're holding a trade and you approach or you get closer to the all-time high, just close it. Don't wait for a new all-time high because we have this setup or we have this analysis. But definitely do not be shorting now with your stops above the all-time high because you're still in an uptrend. So selling would be going against the trend now. All right. And I'm like live almost 2-3 times a week. So once that happens, I will let you guys know that we now like officially are bearish on gold. But for now, we're still bullish. Uh, thank you, Zayan. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. We covered almost everything. Um, Nasdaq. No, Nasdaq. We didn't talk about Nasdaq. Let's just take a look because many of you guys always ask me about Nasdaq. No. Yeah, so it closed bearish, which makes sense because we might see some like rotation outside of the stock market and into the gold and silver. So yeah, guys, back to Maduro's thing, and like let's connect this with the gold analysis. Does it make sense that um, gold might be making new all-time highs while there is like a huge drama happening in the Americas? Yes, it makes sense that it should be going up and making new all-time highs. So that's how you align your technical analysis with your fundamental analysis. um, can you look at BTC? Of course, yes, I will. So back to what I was saying. I was saying that you need to align your analysis or your fundamental analysis with your technical analysis. You need to understand that um, such events in the world will actually cause people to go out of risky assets such as stocks and pour into safe havens like gold, USD, silver, CHF, JPY, and so on. Okay, so let me finish the Nasdaq real quick, and I'll go to Bitcoin. Uh, for now, that's a bearish close, but the overall trend is still up. So we might be heading towards the 23,600, 700, which is like 1,500 points from here. This could be a good shorting opportunity, or not shorting actually. I would wait for it to get there for me to buy and continue going up with the price. Yeah, because the overall trend is still up. That's a weekly engulfing candle. A correction here, if it breaks below this level, which is 24,600, we might be seeing a deeper drop even to 22,700 and 20,000 points. So if this breaks, which is 24,700, we might be seeing a drop of no less than 20%. So this could be the crash that they were talking about, but this takes time. Don't forget we're looking at the weekly time frame. But for now, it's still bullish. Higher highs, higher lows. Actually, we're making a symmetrical triangle here. I can see it very clearly. So symmetrical triangles are continuation patterns, meaning that once a breakout happens, we will continue going up. So the engulfing candle or the bearish engulfing candle on the weekly could be just a fake engulfing candle or a fake reversal sign. Okay, that's why we go to lower time frames, just to make sure that what we saw on higher time frames is actually correct. Because when you go to lower time frames, it's like you're zooming in into the not the chart, the candle itself. Okay, so after zooming in, we discovered that this engulfing candle might have been just a consolidation. So we don't want to like think about shorts or expect shorts before we see the breakout out of this triangle. Okay. Hello, I'm new in your trading channel. Very welcome. You are very welcome. Okay, let's move now to Bitcoin and end with Bitcoin now. Okay, so we go to monthly. Yeah, now if this month closes above 95,000, that would be amazing for Bitcoin because it will mean that we will start going up and we will see the 100,000 and above again during the first quarter of the year. So that's still early to judge. So let's see how the weekly is doing. Weekly is doing fine actually, but it has many obstacles on the way. The main obstacle is obviously $100,000. If it breaks 100,000, we might be seeing like a continuation to the upside, because as you saw here, let me draw it correctly. Yes, now it's connected. Yes. So like it got rejected from an important trend line, which is the long-term trend line. That's the weekly trend line. We saw a bullish engulfing on the weekly trend line. So we might be seeing 90,089 before continuing upwards. But as I told you, we have some obstacles, which are the 100,000, 101,000 is also an obstacle. Once we close above this, we will start seeing higher highs and we will see new all-time highs on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is still in an uptrend, and I believe we will still see higher highs on Bitcoin. Let me see the daily. The daily is still good. Same levels, same obstacles I was talking about, which are the 101K. Breaking above 94,600 is very, very important. Actually, I'm going to place an alert here because this will mean a failure swing. So here on this drop here, we had this wave. We had lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And then suddenly we stopped making lower lows. We failed to make a new low, and we broke above a new high. Not yet. That's why I placed my alert. But once that's broken, it means that it failed to break a previous low, and it broke a previous high, so that this makes it a bullish failure swing to the upside. So that's why I placed my what's it called, my alert to maybe I would be buying around this area. God knows, but let's see what happens till then. All right, guys. So that's it for today. I hope this was helpful. Um, I'll see you on the next one, hopefully next week, and I'll be going live again on Wednesday. So make sure to catch that one as well. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Take care of yourself. Have a great trading week and a productive week. Always use stops, trade responsibly, and trade in. Bye bye.